Coach Sassy Fit with Sassy Fitness. This is Coach Sassy Fit with Team Sassy Fitness.
Well, hello. Happy Teaching Tuesday. Before we jump into today's coaching session, I just want to remind you of something. Your body is always listening to how you treat it. Let me say that one more time. Your body is always listening to how you treat it. The foods you eat, the way you speak to yourself, your habits, your stress levels, your sleep, your movement, your body responds to all of it. And I think sometimes we get frustrated because we want results quickly, but we forget that healing, energy, balance, and transformation are built through repeated daily choices. Not punishment, not extremes, not perfection, just consistency. And I know some of you are tired. I know what I know. And I also know that some of you are trying to pour from empty cups. Some of you are balancing work, family stress, hormones, emotions, responsibilities, and still trying to show up for yourselves. And I just want you to know that the fact you're still trying, that actually matters. And the fact that you're here learning from me matters as well. Because every time you choose to educate yourself instead of giving up, you're investing in the future version of you. And today's topic is such an important one because we're talking about something that affects your energy, your metabolism, your brain function, your muscle tone, your recovery, your hormones, and yes, even cravings, and that's protein. And no, protein is not just for bodybuilders. It's not just for athletes, and it's not just for people trying to bulk up. Protein is for women. Protein is for men. It's for everybody. And if you're a woman on this journey, it's especially for women who want better energy, balanced hormones, fat loss, healthy aging, stronger bodies, stronger metabolism, better recovery, and more stable moods. And a lot of women are unknowingly under-eating their protein and then wondering why they're hungry, why they're tired, why they crave sugar all day, why their body isn't changing in the right direction, and why their metabolism feels slow. And sometimes the answer starts with properly fueling your body, because your body cannot perform properly without the nutrients that it needs. So what I really want you to understand and remember before we dive into this topic is that your goal is not to become obsessed with food. Your goal is to become educated enough to support your body better. That's it. And we're learning how to nourish ourselves, not punish ourselves. So today, come into this session with curiosity, not guilt, not pressure, not comparison. All right? Just openness to learn something that could genuinely help your energy, your hormones, and your overall health long term. All right? So let's go ahead and get into it. We got a few people in the room that's going to be joining us. Let's get it crack-a-lacking. Okay. All right. Who we got coming in? As I take my swig. Give it a few more moments. I thought I saw somebody coming in. Where you at? Open this chat real quick. Well, we're gonna go ahead and dive into it. And if you are watching this back, welcome. I'm glad to have you. I hope you're ready. I hope you have your notepad if needed. I hope you have your questions, because we're going to get right into it. So, as I stated earlier, we're diving deeper into one of the most powerful tools, and that's protein. And who we got here? And it's going to help you with fat loss, muscle preservation, energy, hormonal balance, and metabolic health. And I know a lot of you think that protein is only important for bodybuilders, athletes, or people trying to bulk up, but the truth is, protein impacts almost every stem in your body. It supports your hormones, your recovery, your hunger control, your muscle maintenance, your metabolism, even your hair, skin, and immune system. Yep, your hair, your skin, and your immune system. You know, the one that kind of helps you from getting sick all the time. Yeah, that one. So today we're going to focus on why protein is so important, how it supports hormonal health and metabolism, how much you need, and practical ways to increase your intake consistently. Because here's the reality. If your protein intake is low, your results will likely suffer, no matter how hard you're working. And for those who are new here, who have not been on any of the calls before, who has not been in my coaching, I just want to let you know that I'm a certified weight loss specialist, health, fitness, and nutrition coach, military veteran, and a nationally qualified bodybuilding competitor. But who cares about all that? What's most important is that I'm here to help you simplify your nutrition, understand your nutrition, and build habits that actually support long-term success. Oh, hey, welcome, Izzy. You came right in time for the icebreaker.
I'm gonna get off for 20 minutes.
It's all right. You in here. You made it in. So we're talking about protein. So we're gonna start with a quick check-in. Answer me this. Do you feel like you consistently hit your protein goals each day? Why or why not?
That is the question.
What'd you say?
I said I did the question.
Oh, you didn't hear the question? I said, do you feel like you consistently hit your protein goal each day? Why or why not? Well, one second here. All right. So think about that question and try to figure out, if you're not hitting your protein, why that would be. Is it because you forget to prioritize it? Is it because you don't know how much you need? Is it because you struggle to have protein at breakfast time? Is it because you get bored with protein foods? It's no judgment. This is all about education. And it's all about awareness. And once you are aware of where you're falling short, then you can make proper adjustments. Right? So now we're going to get into protein mastery. Let me help you break down and understand protein in a practical way. Okay? Why is protein so important? I'm so glad you asked. Protein is one of 3 macronutrients. And I know that sounds like a crazy word, but it's basically protein, carbs, and fats. Protein is at the top. So when it comes to fat loss, muscle preservation, recovery, and hormonal support, protein is going to be your foundation. Make sense? Protein is going to be your foundation. Why? Because protein breaks down into amino acids, which helps you support your hormones, your enzymes, your immune function, your skin, your hair, your nails, your muscle repair, and your growth. So your body literally depends on it. Literally. So if you don't have it, all these things aren't working properly. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? So many people don't realize that hormonal health is heavily influenced by nutrition. If you're not eating like you should, if you're stressed all the time, and you're not eating right too, yeah, that's going to mess up your hormones. And with protein, it's going to help support your blood sugar stability, your appetite regulation, recovery hormones, muscle preservation during fat loss. And that's because with protein, it's going to help to keep you full longer. See what I'm saying? So when your protein intake is too low, you may notice you are hungry more often, your energy crashes, you have a difficult time recovering, you have higher cravings, your hunger is increasing because you didn't eat enough protein, and also trouble maintaining muscle mass. So balanced protein intake helps your body function more efficiently. And here's something important. Muscle is metabolically an active tissue, which means the stronger your metabolism stays, the more efficient your body burns energy. So if you're under eating, you're putting your body at risk of not having a stronger metabolism. And your metabolism naturally declines as you age, so you definitely need to make sure that you prioritize that, especially if you're 35 plus, 45 plus, 55 plus, 65 plus. You should be prioritizing protein. I'm not saying you gotta eat like 200 grams of protein or nothing like that, but you need to be prioritizing that. Because, like I said, protein helps preserve muscle, especially during weight loss. The last thing you want to do is to be losing weight and not preserving that muscle and end up with the flabby skin thingy thing that people don't like. Right? And here's another benefit. Protein has the highest thermic effect of food, which means your body burns more calories digesting protein compared to carbs and fat. Did you know your body burns calories to digest food? Did you know that? In order for your body to digest and break down food, you're burning calories doing that? Yeah. So in order for your body to break protein down, you end up burning more calories, which is a plus. Make sense? So protein not only supports fullness, it also slightly boosts your metabolism. It burns way more calories digesting protein compared to carbs and fats. That's why if you just eat cereal, which is carbs, you be hungry real fast. Yep. So if your goal is fat loss, weight loss, protein is essential. Why? Because it helps keep you full for a longer period of time. It also reduces the urge to overeat and snack. It also preserves lean muscle mass and supports recovery while you're in a calorie deficit. Because let's be real, when you first go into a calorie deficit, you might feel like you're hungry because you're not eating as much as you typically would, especially if you're one that eats like really big portions. Right? So unlike many highly processed foods, protein is difficult for the body to store as fat. And that's why it's very beneficial to have and to prioritize. And also after exercise, your body breaks down and it rebuilds. So when you're lifting those weights and things like that, you're breaking down the muscle, and then it's going to repair and rebuild and be stronger the next time around. And protein is what helps to repair that tissue. But if there's no protein there, how are you going to rebuild it? Right? Without enough protein, your recovery is going to slow down, your muscle soreness may increase, and your muscle growth may become harder. So instead of eating most of your protein at dinner, which is what a lot of people do, they might skip protein in the morning, skip protein at lunch, and then they try to pack it all in at dinner. That's not really an effective way to get your protein in. Instead of doing that, spread it throughout the day. An example breakfast meal could be eggs or a protein smoothie or Greek yogurt. A lot of people like to run out the house with a smoothie. Add some protein to it. Add some cottage cheese to it. Add a protein powder to it. Add some protein to it. And for lunch, that's easy. Have some chicken, some turkey, some beans. Add that to your meals. Some tuna, some fish, right? And you can have the same thing for dinner. Even if you do a wrap, you could do like roast beef or turkey, or you could do chicken with some veggies in it. And then with your snacks, that needs to be protein packed as well. So you can have a protein shake, cottage cheese, a protein bar. Right? So the goal here is to provide your body with a steady stream of protein to make sure that you're supporting your metabolism, you're reducing your cravings, and you're improving your recovery. So many people be like, I'm hungry, and they'll run and go get like a bag of chips or something, and they still be hungry after they eat it, because there's nothing but carbs and fat, and there's no protein to sustain them. And a lot of people, when they think of snacks, they think of things like that. Chips, pretzels, nuts. Nuts are okay, but you should still pair it with a protein source, because nuts is a fat source, and you don't want to be eating too many of those anyway, even though just because it is just because it's a healthy fat doesn't necessarily mean that you can overeat on it. Just like they say too much of anything is bad. It doesn't matter if it's healthy. If you're eating too much of it or consuming a larger portion than you should, it's not going to be beneficial to you. So if you ask the question, how much protein do I need? A general recommendation, and I've said this on many occasions, you want to aim for about 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight. So if your goal body weight is 150, you should aim for 150 grams of protein per day. Now keep in mind that is optimal. You can also do 0.8 grams of protein per pound of goal. But I recommend 1 because I'm going for the optimal. Right? But you shouldn't be eating under 100 grams of protein, really and truly. If you're eating less than 100 grams, unless you have like a kidney disease or something like that, and you have to limit your protein intake because of that, that's a different case. But if your kidneys are healthy and everything is functioning properly, and you don't have any kidney diseases, then 1 gram of protein per body goal weight. Not your actual weight, because you could be overweight and you don't need to be consuming that much protein. But in order for you to be losing body fat and preserving your muscle, that's the recommendation. So for an example, like I gave already, 150, if that's your goal weight, aim for 150 of protein daily. And needs may vary depending on your activity level, your goals, and your body composition. But consistency is what matters more than perfection. You might not hit that 150 goal every single day, but you need to be intentional about getting close to it. Make sense? So just to give you guys a few practical examples of protein. We have animal-based protein, which includes chicken breast, turkey, lean beef, eggs, fish, Greek yogurt. And then you have plant-based proteins, which are beans, lentils, chickpeas, quinoa, tofu. You also have supplement-based proteins like whey protein, casein protein, plant-based protein powders. Supplements are tools. Keep that in mind. Supplements are tools, not replacements. You shouldn't be stuffing up on shakes all day. You need some real food. I recommend no more than 2 shakes a day. Whole food should still be the foundation whenever possible. But if you're on the run and you got a lot going on, you can do that, and that's better than nothing. And it'll help you hit your goal easier as well. Make sense? So now we are going to do our group reflection. Take a moment, close your eyes and reflect, and ask yourself, am I eating enough protein consistently? Where do I struggle the most? What's one way I can improve on my protein intake this week? Go ahead and reflect on those things. And then I want you to answer this question after your reflection. One way I will prioritize protein this week is what? Feel free to raise your hand, unmute yourselves, or share in the chat. What you got? Nobody?
I'm getting better with watching the protein. I guess the important thing is being consistent, and especially when I'm going about different places and eating out at different places, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's good. What about you, Isaiah? I see you unmuted yourself.
Yeah, I'm think I'm still working towards it, but I'm getting better at trying to fit more protein into my meals.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. Well, let's bring all of this back to our foundation. Y'all knew I was going to do it. I do it. We're going to bring all of this back around to the foundation. And just remind you that protein is what supports your hormones, recovery, energy, fat loss, metabolism, and muscle preservation. And overall, the system still works even with that. Because if you track your food, you're going to know how much protein you're eating or not. If you aim to hit your protein and calorie goals, you'll be consistently being intentional for that. And of course, you need to drink your water, move daily, and resistance train at least 3 times a week, and get your rest. Because without this system, it won't work. You can't eat a bunch of protein and no water. You can't eat a bunch of protein and not exercise. You can't eat a bunch of protein and not get rest. Right? All of it plays together. Protein is not just about aesthetics. People think, oh, you saying I gotta eat all this protein, I'm not trying to look like a bodybuilder. Protein has nothing to do with being a bodybuilder. It has nothing to do with being an athlete. It's for your overall health. So let's open up. What stood out most today during our conversation about protein? Anything?
Eating, I think you said it's 1 gram or 0.8 grams per pound of body weight that you
want to get to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's not current body weight, it's goal body weight.
Goal body weight. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Some people may give that rule of thumb of 0.8 grams per body weight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really agree with that, because what if you're overweight? You gonna eat 300 grams of protein every day?
Mm-hmm.
So I always use the rule of thumb 1 pound per goal body weight.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, right, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. So I aim for 135 grams of protein every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything stood out to you, Izzy?
I feel like I caught the tail end of it, but anything that stood out to me, just I guess yeah.
It's all right. You came kind of late. It's
yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all right. So with your homework this week, I want you to make sure you're focusing on asking yourself before you consume food each week, where is my protein source? Do I have a source of protein on my plate? Do I have a protein source in this snack? Do I have a protein source in this dinner? Because if you do that each time, that's an example of being intentional and being mindful to make sure that you're getting the protein that you need. But if you're just eating and there's no protein source there, then you're hurting yourself or hindering yourself from reaching your protein goals, or making it harder. Because if you wait to the end of the night to try to hit all your goals, you're gonna be so full trying to go to bed, and it's just not worth it. I mean, I've had people do extremes, and say, I'm trying to hit my water goal and I'm just trying to drink this gallon first thing in the morning. Why would you try to fit a full gallon in your belly first thing in the morning? No, spread that out. You're going to end up feeling sick to your stomach. You might throw up, because who's drinking all that at one time? Same thing with protein. Oh, I'm trying to eat all these eggs and for breakfast because I'm trying to make it make sense. It's all about balance. Balance it out. If you know you need this amount of protein, my rule of thumb is divide your total amount of protein you're supposed to consume per day by the amount of meals you eat. If that number is too high for you to hit, then you need to add an extra meal and put your meals closer together and make them smaller. So as an example, I'm going to pull my calculator out because I'm not a mathematician. So if I go to my calculator, and I typically eat 4 to 5 meals a day. So I'm just going to divide 135 by 5, because that's my goal of protein per day. If I divide that by 5, that means every meal I need to have at least 27 grams of protein. Now, there may be some meals where you'll end up having a little bit more, like if you have like a protein shake, or like if you have your breakfast and you have a protein coffee with it or something like that, and that'll help boost your numbers faster. But if I have at least 27 grams of protein in all of my meals, I'm guaranteed to hit my 135 every single day. Now, if I was one that only ate 3 meals, which I wouldn't recommend, because you would end up needing bigger meals, and I am naturally a small eater, so I'm not going to eat really big meals. But say I ate 3 meals and I divided that 135 by 3. I would need 45 grams of protein in those 3 meals. So that's how you do that, to make sure that you're getting what you need. And that's why also with the shakes that I buy, I love the Premier Protein shakes, because not only are they delicious, they have 30 grams of protein in there. So if I have two of those shakes, I done knocked out 2 of my meals for the day, or 2 of my snacks full of protein. If my minimum is 27, I done hit it over by 3. Wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I told you I don't do math like that. By 3, I done hit it over by 3 in 2 of my snacks. And then the rest of my meals can be balanced as well. So when you're getting your protein supplements, you got to pay attention to the label, and you got to look and see, okay, how many grams of protein per scoop? If you have a protein powder that is 20 grams per 2 scoops, that means if you do 1 scoop, you're only getting 10 grams of protein. And I prefer not to get those shakes that you have to scoop twice, because protein powder is thick. And I don't want 2 of those. So you got to pay attention to the serving sizes of what you're consuming. Also, continue to track your foods, because awareness creates improvement. You can't measure what you don't track. Why you think every time you go to the doctor, the first thing they do is put you on the scale? First thing they do is put you on the scale. They take your blood pressure, they take your temperature. They checking all your vital signs to make sure you're not walking in there and need to be in the hospital for some unknown reason. Like, oh my gosh, did you realize that your blood pressure was really low? We need to admit you to the hospital. That's why they check all that stuff first. They won't know how you're doing, essentially, if they don't check your vital signs, and they can't check your vital signs if they don't have the tracking measures to do it. So apply that to your fitness journey, your health journey. Things need to be measured in order to be things need to be tracked in order to be measured. If you don't track your workouts, you don't know where you're progressing, where you're getting stronger. If you don't follow a program, you just winging it at that point. Make sense? And make sure you also prep 1 high protein option ahead of time. It doesn't matter if it's a protein shake pack, if it's grilled chicken that's already made that you can just grab and heat up. If it's Greek yogurt cups, that's one thing. That's my 1 protein packed option that I always have prepped ahead of time, because they sell them at Sam's, and I get the big old thing of it, and I make sure I have enough for the week. If it's the weekend and I'm running low, I'm going to the store and getting some more for the entire week, because I need to make sure that that's one thing that I can grab if I'm in a hurry. That and my Premier shakes. You can also do hard-boiled eggs. Some people like to hard-boil their eggs and put them to the side. I could not do that. It's a no for me, but some people can do that. Do what works for you, because preparation supports consistency. Make sense?
Yep.
So always think to yourself about how you can improve your protein intake, and aim for that, and ask yourself at the end of the week, how did I improve my protein intake this week? What did I do? But you won't know unless you track it, right?
That's right.
So, yeah. So that's it for today's session. I just want you guys to remember that protein is what supports muscle and metabolism. Protein helps stabilize your energy and your hunger. It also supports hormonal health and recovery. And consistent protein intake supports long-term results. You don't need extreme dieting. Extreme dieting can go against what your goals are and make your hormones go crazy in a negative way. You need structure, you need balance, and you need consistency. And protein is one of the most powerful tools in your toolbox. It's like the most important macronutrient. So before we close, I would love to know one word, just one, that describes how you want to feel when your nutrition is aligned with your goals. Just one.
Successful.
Successful. I love it.
Stronger.
Stronger. That's a good one. All right. Well, thank y'all so much for being here, for being my faithful few. And thank you for showing up. Also, thank you for investing in your health. Thank you for investing in your health. And next Tuesday, we're going to be back continuing to build stronger habits and sustainable results. And our topic for next Tuesday, wait a minute. We at the end of May already? How? How? I feel like it just started.
It just started and it's almost over.
You got to be lying. I know you lying. What? That is crazy. All right. Wow. So, so then we're going to talk about vitamin C next week, because I think that's a supplement that a lot of people overlook and don't take enough or pay enough attention to. So we're going to be talking about vitamin C for energy, immunity, and stress reduction.
Okay.
That's going to be a good one.
So, again, thank you guys for being here. Let's keep on moving forward. And, yeah. Y'all know, until next time, Shakita Nicole Sassy Fit is.
This is Coach Sassy with Sassy Fitness.